because our deepest wounds often reveal our greatest purpose. Welcome to the Court of Connection. Your host, Danielle Cobb, and I have a very special guest here with me, my friend Cremi.
Hi.
I call her Cremi. She goes by Stephanie by most of the world, but I'm really excited to have you here.
Thank you.
And we just had like a really cool conversation for probably the last hour. We were like, well, hopefully there's some content we can grab from that. But
Yes.
Thank you again for taking time to be here. And I feel grateful to share the world with you. You are such an authentic embodiment of what it means to be human in spirit, and really just the essence of what this podcast is, and just the walk of life.
The walk of life.
Journey back home to ourselves.
The journey back home to ourselves.
Yeah.
And we are just a mirror.
That's
You
right.
are me. I am you, which is so cool.
That's right.
And thank you so much for having me.
I'm glad to have you here.
Yes.
Okay, so therapist, spiritual queen,
Yes.
sober woman.
Yes.
How do you describe yourself at a party?
Oh my gosh. What a great question. You know, I often do find myself saying, for instance, what's coming up for me now is I went recently to Spain and I did a writer's retreat there. And this one girl who was on the same retreat was like, hey, do you want to ride with us? Because the retreat was about an hour north of San Sebastian, Spain. And so we met at the airport, and immediately I found myself wanting her to know, hey, I'm a safe space, just so you know. Because we were just like talking on WhatsApp. I just want you to know that I think I'm a safe space, and I hope you think so too. And her husband were so great. Yet I just found myself, wanting to lead with that. But yeah, that's so wild, girl. I'm a whole ass therapist now.
You are a whole ass therapist.
An EMDR therapist.
Yes.
And I'm so proud of that. And I love helping others. So like the whole brand of Embrace is that I do the work so that I can help others do the work too.
That's right.
Yes.
What do you feel like has called you more to EMDR versus like traditional talk therapy? Like what entices you about that modality?
The energy work. And I was kind of vacillating. I was like, man, should I talk about this with her? Should I not? And I kind of knew intuitively that it would naturally come up. So I am feeling called to say that I do it differently, that I do the modality differently.
Yeah.
I've obviously worked with, and I was trained by Dr. Christine Sprouls, who was then trained by Francine Shapiro, who's the one who came up with EMDR in that modality. And so Dr. Sprouls, I did her trainings, and they have the specific way that you learn how to do EMDR. And I just felt over the last 2 years of doing it that these humans we operate in this society where everything is, we're overstimulated all the time.
Yes.
From, watching fingers back and forth to the light bar, to the this, to the that. I felt intuitively called to have the client close their eyes and go within and rely on themselves from an internal stance to do the bilateral stimulation to activate the part of themselves that can calm down the amygdala, which calms down the cortisol. And so walking through it from this very new stance where I also incorporate IFS and somatic healing has been so cool, because I get to bring the modality into life, how it fits my clients. And this isn't for everyone, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who don't really want to internally connect. They want the external force, and that's okay too.
Totally. Yeah.
So what's been really cool is being able to just tweak the EMDR modality just enough to where it completely it still is the EMDR modality.
Sure.
It just doesn't involve an external force creating the bilateral stimulation.
So how do they, where's the bilateral stimulation come from?
It's so fun because we are dealing with a supercomputer, and it's a life hack that I teach everyone. You close your eyes. And we can just do it right now together. Where you get centered, you close your eyes, and you immediately move your eyes back and forth. left to right, left to right. And you just do that until you feel like a visceral reaction. You may feel a yawn. You'll want to stretch. You'll want to move. And all it does is calm down that amygdala. And the amygdala is the back of the brain that produces this cortisol, which is, as we know, is the stress hormone. And it just helps. And so the clients working through all of this trauma that has happened to them, right? And again, this came to my mind's eye because of being overstimulated. We live in a very overstimulating society.
Yeah.
And the people I would work with were this whole keeping my eyes open and watching your fingers isn't working for me.
Yeah.
The tapping's not working for me. So it just naturally, authentically came to, why don't you close your eyes and just move your eyes back and forth?
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yes. And that's been so helpful. And it's just really cool because it's an energetic modality.
I love that.
And I love the somatic work.
Yes. Yeah. And somatic work is so important. I'm actually going to do this really intensive somatic experience in February.
Yes.
Because the world is so overstimulating, because we all come from this lens of trauma, the societal form, all of these things, we don't know how to live in our body. It doesn't feel safe for a lot of us, you know, and this is constant need to escape, right? Pull up the phone, turn on some music, right? Hit the vape, whatever it is, right? It's this constant need to escape the body.
Yes.
And that's something that I've really been on this journey as someone who was overweight most of her life. Being in my body is not a place I wanted to be.
Yes.
You know? And so learning how to be, oh, let's take a deep breath. I can feel the need to want to escape. What can we do instead? Right.
And we want it to be more.
Yes.
And what do you mean all I have to do is take a deep breath?
Yes.
I mean, people like
life
you and
I mean, no big deal.
Yeah. Well, and I will say people like you and I, because I know that you have talked openly about this, where we just would reach for external forces. For instance, I was like, oh, I have a headache. Where's that oxy?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
What?
Totally. What outside of me is going to fix what's going on right now?
Yes. And so what do you mean all I have to do is take some deep breaths?
Yeah.
What do you mean all I have to do is close my eyes and move them left to right?
Yeah.
I needed to be more.
Yes.
What do you mean I say, deal with tuning forks? And that's another big one, sound therapy. And so I'll bring in the tuning forks to activate the subconscious to come to the forefront.
Oh.
And we just do a lot of stuff that may not resonate with everyone, and that's okay.
Sure. Absolutely.
That's okay.
Yeah. But I'm a firm believer that the people who are supposed to find us do, right?
Yes.
The people that will hear this podcast are the people who are supposed to.
Absolutely. And I'm feeling called to point out that there is a beautiful balance. There's a balance between the Western and the Eastern. So a former supervisor of mine recently sent me a reel, and the premise of the reel was around stop reading Your Body Keeps Score and read a research paper. So I think that there is a fun dance to that. I think it's a yes and, right? Where it's not, there's no one size fits all.
Totally.
It's just not.
Yeah.
We're out here in the human world. It's you take what resonates with you and leave the rest.
Right. Which is exactly the same with the spiritual dance.
Yes.
Right?
The spiritual dance.
Yeah. Whatever gets you there. I don't care.
Yes.
I know what works for me.
Yes.
And it's morphed and changed and all the things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So tell me, as a therapist, what do you think is the one thing that people misunderstand about you being a therapist or being a therapist in general?
Well, therapists, just like doctors, lawyers, every human, they're still human.
Right.
So I'm still going to make funny TikToks and do silly things. And when I'm off the clock, I'm not psychoanalyzing shit.
Yes.
I'm not out here just what are they doing? What's this, that, and the other? Oh, I see some trauma there. I think that one of the misconceptions that I had is that they had it all together. That they were, I thought this of all adults, really.
Totally.
And now we're all in our 30s and 40s, and we're wait, I'm me? I'm the grown up.
I have it together?
I have it no. And that's what I think the beauty of it is. I was actually pondering how we get to grow up completely different from generations before us,
Mhm.
where we have this community of people that we can see them going through the same things. And we have just like so much access to information.
Yes.
Right. And so we all know that we're all just like out here adulting and no one knows what is going on.
Yeah.
Like no one knows.
You can cuss, by the way, on this
Thank
podcast.
you.
No need to filter here.
Did you love how I
Just the bleep. We'll get that added in. Yes.
Oh, no one knows what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so fucking hard to be human. Like no one knows and there's no answers and no one's coming to save us.
That's right.
No one's coming to save you.
Yep.
And it is your circus and it is your monkeys.
Yep.
So what do you do when it is your circus and when it is your monkeys? And let's like walk through that.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's something that I've been really like holding close to my heart. And we talked about it earlier. Is like, I am the only relationship that I can rely on besides I'm it that I can rely on all the time, 100% of the time.
100%.
You know, so I have to be I have to be the safe place, and I have to learn how to be in my body and self-regulate and do all of those things, or I'm just not going to survive.
Or we're not going to survive this life.
Yes.
It's fucking hard.
Yes. Girl, it is.
Yes.
So, okay, I feel like we have to start with the theme of this year for you. Falling into your humanness, you know, dealing with loss, dealing with betrayal, dealing with all of those things.
Yeah.
Share whatever feels pertinent, because I think it's important. I mean, on the spiritual journey, it is messy. You know, being a human in general, it is messy. And there's so much power in sharing the truth. So,
yes. And
about this last year.
So I fell fucking hard this last year, and I just fell into this like humanness of it all. You know, we were talking about a year ago, I did this podcast with my friend, and I was just like in this like space, and I was so excited to like walk into this new year. And I got careless with myself. I got immature with my feelings, and I was two-faced. And because I was that way towards myself, it manifested in both personal and professional situations that I left feeling embarrassed, that I allowed myself to operate at that vibration. I felt just used. I felt that they were careless. I felt like they didn't give a fuck about how I felt. I felt just embarrassed. I felt that things were careless and immature. I felt like it was very immature and that they were two-faced. And I kept running into these situations, and it deeply hurt for me to fall that way. And I was so mad at myself. So deeply mad at myself, because I had prided myself on being this woman of spirituality, and I had done so much work, Danielle, and I, you know, didn't need to fall like that, you know, all of these things. And she fell, you know, she fell hard for just a really tough situation where the ego got hurt really bad. And there was also this moment where it was presented to me, you know, like, oh, like you're not going to be able to have kids, right? And I've always vacillated, like, am I going to be a mom? Am I not going to be a mom? And so when it was presented to me in that mean way, I was like, oh shit, I won't, I may not. Like, what do I do? And so that was also a narrative I clung to at the time, which still, you know, has some like hurt that's around it, because I am not sure, right? Then, you know, my beloved dude, who's my kitty cat randomly, my beloved Caden, who's been with me for so long. You know, he was with me for so long, and he just randomly gets cancer like a couple of weeks after that. Just a couple of weeks. And 4 days before he was diagnosed, I ended up like signing a new lease to move. And there was just all of this, plus my safety net job, like a couple weeks after that ended.
Yeah.
So it was all of this. And then my relationship with other people were changing. And so it was just so much in such little time. and I moved by myself, right? I had to walk through like Caden's end of life by myself. And like the hardest thing is that like I can't, like an ego story, my mind loves telling me this story. You chose a timeline that correlated and ended with Caden dying. Had you chosen and really, like, because there was this scene when I was in my meditation room at the beginning of the year, and I should have gone this way, like I should have, right? And I was trying. She was trying. She kept talking and saying, and she tried, but she kept backtracking. So what do you think she manifested?
Yeah.
You know, and so walking through Caden's death, it just hurts. If you have animals, you know. You know, if you're an animal fur baby mom, I had, and again, 16 years, and walking through that end of life ceremony or the transition ceremony was so hard because I did it all alone.
Yeah.
And then the ego started big time after me, where I had to like call my girls and let people see me from a vulnerable stance that I've never been able to before.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm a licensed therapist, and like, because I was, you know, you think that you're not supposed to feel or some bullshit, right?
Sure. I remember how many times I've been like, you're 7 years sober.
Yeah.
You should not be dealing with this.
Yeah.
You're 9 years sober.
Yeah.
And it's like, says fucking who?
Says who? The universe doesn't care about that shit. It was time for a completion, karmatic cycle. When it comes to relationships on professional, personal, all ends, it was D-Day for me and my soul's evolution. And it had to happen that way. As I have such fellow queens in my life, thank fucking God. No, genuinely, thank God. I was able to, you created such a safe space for me over the years that I can stumble on my words and still feel safe, right? That we can just like walk through the whole thing. And I was able to just come to you and be like, I got myself into this drama, and he said, and she said, and I said, and it was just this whole like drama. And I hated it. And every time I like would speak about it, I you know, it was such a low vibrational situation I got myself into, and I felt so hurt. So what do you do then? What do you do then?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and I just want to say too, like, I think the most painful part about, yes, abandoning ourselves, yes, not listening to ourselves, all of those things, obviously, like literal loss. But I feel like the judgment about how we are responding to these things is the most painful part. It is the most painful part because it's like we were talking about earlier, this dance between, like, Christ consciousness is this dance between, I'm like fully okay with my humanness, and but I'm so unidentified with it that I can allow it to do whatever it needs to do.
Sure.
And be like, oh yeah, you're over there judging. Oh, sweet angel baby, you know?
And that was the hardest part because I abandoned those sentiments.
Yes.
I allowed myself to really like go through this human experience, yet not from the observatory stance.
Sure.
From the we in it, I was hurt, I'm the victim, I'm hurt. And then through the tools, thankfully, and all of the things that I have and know to be true to use, I was able to look at my part. And that's why I started off with saying I was these things first.
Sure.
And foremost.
Right.
Yet it took me longer than I would have liked to get back to that spot.
Yeah.
You know, which was to me, you know, I can't, like you said, like I'm judging how I handled.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah. Which, you know, one of the teachers that I listen to, he says, when we say, I can't believe it took you this long to get through this. I can't believe I was in a relationship with that guy. What we're saying is, I can't believe God took that, like, replace it with God, right? Because the creator has given us these opportunities, these perfectly orchestrated opportunities. He knows exactly the timeline. He knows how long it's going to take us to come back around. He knows exactly the partner we need to like bring all of this stuff to the forefront that we're not seeing, right? And to deny those parts in ourselves, or to deny the creator, right? And say, you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
When in fact,
And it's all orchestrated, and I signed up for this.
Yes, but in those moments, it does not feel that way.
No.
It feels like I'm in fucking hell by myself. Nobody understands me. I'm never going to make it out of here. Dark night of the soul is no joke.
It was what I experienced another, right?
Yeah.
And I want to emphasize that because it's not you go to therapy and you're okay, or you become a therapist and you're okay, or you're X amount of years sober and you're okay, or that's not how this game is played.
Right.
You go through dark night of souls, and as much as I don't want to, it's probably going to happen again.
Totally.
And that's how it goes. Yep. That's how this game is played.
Yeah.
And I was just crying with you before we started this because I'm so proud of myself that I made it through. I am like on the other side of that.
Yeah.
And again, for whatever reason, it is like that Caden component that like I miss him so much. Like he is and was, and learning to feel him in a different way has been interesting.
Yes.
And also feeling called to bring up Aaron. Learning how to energetically connect with my twin flame, who has since crossed over.
Yes.
Yeah, that's been really neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's this whole like energetic field outside of what we can see with our physical eyes.
Yes, I believe this to be true.
Forces,
yes,
beings,
yes,
all kinds of things ready to meet us where we're at and work for us on our behalf, you know? And I want to because I want to hear about I'd love to hear about how Caden has shown up in spirit form and how that whole physical death has really just been more of a blessing, you know?
Yes. And what a wild thing to go through. Yeah, I've never really gone through anything like that by myself, you know? And I can't help but feel responsible, right, on so many levels. And that's the ego. And he was in so much pain, you know, and you never want your animals to be in pain, or like kids, you know what I mean? Like kids, anything. And then my ego's like, yeah, but it was just a cat. And like, it's not, you know, it's not just a cat. He was like a family and traveled all over with me. I used to take him on the subway in Manhattan, and I would take him to like the PetSmart. Like we'd go. He was such a cool cat. Like he wasn't like a cat, like indoor cat. He was like, let's go on a leash, let's go on walks. Yes. Like we would. He had showers. And car rides, and just like he was like a dog cat. But yeah, that transition, that ceremony was different. And that's what's so weird. During that transition, it was my first experience of seeing someone pass away or something pass away, and his soul goes first. Your soul in this instance goes first, and his body held on to the tune where she had to give him a little bit more to help him transition. And of course I had the selenite and like a marble cat and the moonstone and like the water and even this necklace I was wearing, and then my clear quartz. And so I like to believe that, you know, a resonance of him is with me. Sorry, I just tapped the mic. That was probably going to be weird. But yeah, the transitioning of Caden and how he shows up in so many ways. He comes to me in session all the time randomly. I see him, and it's just such a different, and like it sounds so crazy, you know.
It doesn't though.
To
some people maybe.
Yes.
But
and he comes up all the time. And I would like to think that when the timing is right, the cat distribution system will send me a new kitty. That's right. He will send me a new kitty, but I do feel him. He visits me in my dreams all the time. Yes, he's so much there, and it's just getting to understand him from a different point of view. And then just the events around the death is like, oh wow, this is what I signed up for. Man, this was the final boss. Yeah. Because I am walking into this new cycle. I am starting at 1. Yeah. We've completed 9. We're done with that. She's not denying herself anymore. I can speak up for myself. We are not ever. We say that and just come back and
we hope that. Yeah.
And it's going to look different.
Yes.
We're clearing the throat chakra. Yeah. You know what I mean? I can say how I feel without fear of judgment. And what's so fucking weird is that I like go back, and I've tried to work on this throat chakra shit for a hot minute. And finally the universe was like, okay, well, here's this, 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 and this. Like, you ready?
Yes.
Like, you can do it again? You need some help, huh?
Let me help you out.
Let me help you
Yeah.
out.
So, I mean, you kind of answered it, but what do you feel like is your biggest takeaway from this chapter, and like what you're going to, yes, speaking up, but like going forward into this new chapter in your life? What is the thing you're going to anchor into the most?
My intuition. My intuition speaks in statements and my mind speaks in questions.
Yes.
So I've had to get back into the body and I take the moment. What does yes feel like? For me, yes is in the sacral. Yes it's very much an absolute like fire yes. When it is no, it's a little bit in my solar, between my heart and my solar, and it's almost a guttural feeling. So for me, my gut is no and my sacral is yes. And so a lot of the times, and as I've been practicing this sentiment as I've gone through this last year, I've realized that my intuition will lead me into situations that are just lessons.
Yep.
And that's okay too.
Yeah.
I recently just went on this blind date situation, right? And I was so excited. And the intuition was like, yeah, go, go, go. And it just still was just a lesson, because there was personality differe's, and that's okay. Yet I knew that I needed to go experience that.
Totally.
Which is just so different, right? Like there's lessons and there's blessings.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's why it's so important to learn your body, to learn how to be in your body, because if we're saying that most of the world doesn't live in their body, but our intuition is constantly guiding us through senses, right? Well, where does that leave us? It leaves us with a bunch of people who are flailing around in life, who are not tapped into their their internal compass, right? And that's painful. It's so painful. And thank you for sharing that with me. I know, I got to be in the front seat of a lot of your journey and unfolding, and we were walking in similar situations of, like death of the ego, having to let something go, having to like just a series of surrenders that felt gut-wrenching at moments. And I'm so glad that you allowed yourself to be seen. And so I want to talk a little bit about that. Because I too really struggled to be seen by women. It felt so, my first episode, I share a little bit about the Circle of Stones experience. The first year, were you there that year when I like scream cried?
No,
you were around yet. Oh my God, it was a scene
at Wildwood.
Yes,
it
was a whole scene, but.
I love that.
I was like, maybe, you weren't sober yet. I don't think. I was like 2 years, 3 years sober.
Yeah, and so you're about 3 years older than I am in that regard. Yeah.
And girl, so I was not an elder yet, so I was in the outside circle.
Oh wow.
Okay, and you know how uncomfortable that is.
People
to be
are
witnessed.
looking at you for the first time.
Yes. And they did the first reading. And I have Jordan here, I have Nicole here. And Evelyn had done this whole prep of like, if you cry, don't look away, like let them see you, blah, blah, blah. And like in my head, because at this time, I'm not a crier. At this point in my life, I'm not a crier. I'm still a bottler. And I definitely don't let people see me.
No.
So I'm like, yeah, okay, it won't be me, And they do the first reading and I literally start screaming and I can't stop. It's visceral. It's coming from such a deep place that it's just like so somatic. It was like I cried the tears of the last 30 years of my life all in one moment. And I remember feeling alarmed and like trying to get myself to stop. And I like look away immediately. And I'm like, no, stop. And I can't. And there was this voice that was like, let them see you. And I was like, I don't know if I can. And they're squeezing my hands. And then it says it again, let them see you. And I just remember looking forward and being witnessed by these people as I'm like just ugly crying and can't stop. And the ego's like, it's saying things like, you're fucking ruining this for everyone. Shut up. And it's like doing what it does. And God was, God just anchored me in and allowed me to be seen. And so I say all that to say like, man, to this lie that we believe that
Mm.
people will reject us if they see the true parts,
Oh yeah.
is so painful and so not true. And in fact, it made me feel closer to you, getting to witness you on that journey, you know?
Yes. And that's how because I'm so silly and goofy and like to have fun and like everything's light and love and like let's rap together.
Yeah.
You know? And so even like at this moment to like feel so teary-eyed and this is definitely a new season for me to be seen and allow myself to be seen and trust.
Yeah.
So that was something that really came up this year was the trust because I ultimately abandoned myself, which led to other people abandoning me who I loved and trusted and respected. And so, or at least that's how I perceived the actions. And that was really hard. And so when it came to like really going through this journey and opening up, it was scary. And that's where like having you see me and having all of our fellow queens see me, it's so daunting to just be vulnerable and sad. And going back to that question you asked, like, what's the biggest misconception of a therapist or this, that, and the other? The ego's like, well, yeah, but you've read all the books. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean shit.
Literally, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't mean shit. And it doesn't matter that I'm a licensed therapist technically and some other people aren't because they're doing the exact same fucking work that I am. There's no difference in it.
Yeah.
And the only difference is that it's just difficult for me to be seen, right? I don't know exactly where I was going with that, except for the fact that it's hard to be fucking vulnerable, no matter where you're at in life.
Well, what do you think your system underneath all of that is saying? Like in those moments of like,
well, I don't have a safety net, right? Like it's me. No, it's me and mine. And like going back to like this dramatic loss. And again, that was just big for me. Doing it by myself, moving by myself, like doing everything by myself. And then there is this other layer that my ego loves to feel like, well, you're the only one because my age, I am older and then I am like in a social construct. We are on this earth plane where you need to be married by a certain age, you need to have kids. And so that's been really heavy since this specific comment was made. I've just really been like, oh shit. Is she really not going to be a mom? Because I'm not bought out yet. Yeah. And so a lot of women who are my age are like either bought out or they're like actively working on it with their partners. And so like that's been another like social construct thing. I'm like, well, fuck. Like she's out here. Like and I didn't think it, because I loved boys. Boys loved me. Now it was all toxic.
Yeah.
It wasn't like positive. Like let's, and yeah. So we're just fulfilling karmatic debt in that area. And so I do like my ego loves to tie to this, like, yeah, but you're the only one that's like older. Because I think that the benefit that humans have by getting sober before their prefrontal cortex is done developing is it can be statistically easier for them to rewire neural pathways because they're not yet metabolized to the magnitude as where somebody like in their 30s or mid 30s were to like get sober for the first time or any time. It can be like a little bit more daunting to like rewire this like hard metabolized programming.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's another ego story my shit loves to tell me.
Yes. I'm sitting here thinking like, we actually had a women's circle last night at my mentor's house. And I was thinking about what are the things that I say. And mine is a lot around body, right? It's like the things I say out loud are, which I've got this really, this aha moment where it was like, I always say, well, my body's just built differently. So I'm never going to be XYZ, right? And it's so like in line with like our consciousness creates a reality. Like how much are we saying out loud that is creating the reality that I'm not even aware of, or that I'm really just like, but I'm just stating the facts. And it's like, but you're creating your reality by believing that, you know, you can only have babies until this time. You can only blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. I want to pause there and really take this into real time. That is a story that my ego tells me, and let me tell you that we are calling in the divine male. No. Let's not get it twisted.
Yes.
We are speaking about something that I have experienced and walked through, and I'm being so fucking vulnerable of like the stories that she will tell, you know, like when I speak about parts work and things like that. So I'm talking about an ego death story. Yet, listen, we calling him and it's happening. And the mother, will I, won't I? It will come to fruition, because still, truthfully, I am on the scale. I vacillate. Would I love to be a vessel for a soul contract to come in? Yes. And that's what I find appealing, because I deeply would like to be a vessel for a soul contract to come into the earth plane.
Yes.
And so we'll see. And you know, we getting it. She's coming out and all the things. It's like,
I love that perspective. I've never even thought about it that way. I've never even thought about parenting in that way of like, I get to be
the vessel
for this new soul contract.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. Absolutely. That is what appeals to me the most. Yes, that is what appeals to me the most. And I don't want it bad enough to walk through freezing eggs or IVF or anything like that at this time. Or is it that I call in a soul that's already here? You know, I do feel, I know when you touch the mic, you're like, sorry. But like, yes. And so I think that what we're doing here today is just showing like different parts of self.
Yes.
And when I tap back into like what happened or the narrative or like this story, it is just that, a story.
Totally.
And we all experience that. And I speak that with clarity and conviction so that the universe, because the universe doesn't speak in English.
No.
It speaks from a guttural level. So when I speak about that, I know that I am a divine feminine. I know that I am here to help raise the collective, not from an egotistical stance, but from a just is stance. Like, this is fulfilling my soul contract. This is what I'm here to do. Is I do my own healing to heal. Like, that's just genuinely what it is. And so when I speak like that, I get goosebumps. It's just like what my essence is. And so the universe responds to that frequency because that's authenticity. And authenticity is the highest frequency that you can operate in, not love.
I heard that. I don't know where I heard that, but it's so true.
It's very true.
I mean, think about it. Like because authenticity has been like a huge part of my journey, like coming to authenticity.
Same.
I am a 2. So for any of you that know on the Enneagram, my fellow 2 here.
I think we're the same on that.
Yes.
But I vacillate a lot. I do vacillate a lot.
Yes. But the helper, you know, the whole essence of that until they get to their healthy 2 parts is that they abandon themselves for other people. Right?
Yes.
To meet the needs of other people.
Yes.
And so that looks like a lot of people pleasing, a lot of, you know, whatever. And I started to feel the deep effects of that as I continued to awaken on my spiritual journey of like how painful that is to abandon and not live authentically and not speak authentically. Like, yeah, I would imagine that though love is such a powerful vibration, that authenticity, when you're just leading with truth, like, the empowerment that you feel, that's the thing, right? Love it feels good and it's beautiful and it's expansive, but to stand in your power, I mean, think of love, power, which one seems bigger? Power. You know, standing in authentic power and truth, right?
And feeling called to say you need the love and then the gratitude to have the authenticity, right?
Totally.
That's just such a beautiful power of 3 right there.
Yes. Yeah, and that was the story that I believed too, was like, nobody wants the bad, like nobody wants to see the bad parts of Danielle. I don't have anything to offer outside of being positive or making you feel happier or bringing light, whatever.
Let's giggle.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But it actually didn't make people feel close to me. They felt like they got a surface level version of me because they did. You know, like I don't connect with perfect people. I connect with people who are
what are you saying?
Standing in their humanness.
Yes.
You know?
Imperfect. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. We're just out here.
Yes. Okay, let's see here. So, I mean, girl, like, I want to know what is your hope stepping into next year? What is your vision stepping into next year? Whether that's spiritual, actual, mental, like whatever, like what is the version of Stephanie that is stepping into 2026?
Ooh. So the version of Stephanie Crimmy, and I do want to actually talk about where Crimmy originated from.
Let's do it
real quick. Just it's a nickname, right? Because crimson's my favorite color, and Crimmy is short for crimson, infinitely deep and constantly beautiful. And I used to do gigs back when, casting calls. There was tons of Stephanies, and so we had a nickname to stand out. And Crimmy is what it is. And so what is she doing stepping into 2026? Continuing to deepen her connection to self so that she can help others. As corny as it sounds, it's not. It's why I'm here. This is part of my soul contract, is to help raise the collective. Right. I am from a humanistic earth plane point of view, like a 3D plane. We're calling in a literary agent. So yes. So we're doing that.
I love it.
So we're having a literary agent come in and help me like complete this. And what I've really appreciated about this conversation is talking about the sober malady, which is, sure, we understand the inside the malady. We get like how deep and dark it can get. And like that just as a continuation, well, what do you do? Right? Like, what do you do when you're like so far removed and like that type of numbing agent doesn't even come into the forefront of a toolbox, you know, that it doesn't come into the forefront of your mind at all, right? Like at all.
Right.
You're so far removed, like you're just out here raw dogging life. Like, sobriety is one of the hardest drugs that is on the market, I often say. And so I'm going to continue my mind membership, because I often say that a gym membership is for the body and therapy is a mind membership, and you need both. You know, and strengthening my connection to my intuition so I understand what yes is for me, and being able to say no. No is a complete sentence. And being okay and not fearing like, oh, am I hurting someone's feelings? Am I this, them? Am I that? And so that's what I'm really calling in, and just continuing on this journey. And I will be a published author. And we're publishing this book. It's a fun, creative project. Would like to work with a literary agent because I'm feeling called to possibly do it the old school way, right? Through a publishing house, yet so open to doing self-publishing and all the things. That's what we're calling in. I'm going to continue to hone in my modalities of helping others. And you know, there's all the things in the works. You know,
can you give us a little snippet of what the book is about, or is it still kind of top secret?
Oh, no, it's not top secret. You know, the full disclosure, this has been a project I've been working on for 7 years now. I thought about it. It came to me in like 2020, a little bit before 2020. And then I wrote it in 2020. And then I went back and got the master's, and then like it went on the shelf, and like life happens. And I've been working on it. And so this last year I really honed in and worked on it from, I would say 2024 and 2025, really worked on it to get it like done. We are out there. But what it is it follows the malady from like a narrative point of view of like the internal dialogue of a character named Catherine. And it starts out in utero. So like Catherine has a conversation with her soul contract. So her higher self and the soul contract, and then you watch the malady just get to the point where it does. And yeah, that's what happens. So it just like kind of flows through the whole soul contract. I'm also feeling called to point out, you know, the way that we think about soul contracts and things like this. So I grew up Catholic, went to parochial schools in Louisiana. And then at 16, my family moved to Utah. So I moved to Utah. And when I moved to Utah, I was with the Mormons, and they were like, oh, like everything you've learned the last 16 years is false. Like, we're the right religion. We're the only religion. And I was like, oh. Then I go to Manhattan for my 20s and Judaism, and they were right, you know? And so my organized religion was just like, wait, what? Then when I came into my own spiritual awakening, all of these sentiments that you and I speak about to feel true resonates with me deeply. Yet when I like went to Spain and I was with all these people and I started like explaining the concept, they were not understanding it. They were like, oh, like, what do you mean, like a soul contract? Like what a fascinating story. And, you know, they thought about it from like such a fictional standpoint.
Wow. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, wow, that was just a great lesson. Oh, yeah, not everyone thinks this way. And they weren't tied to any organized religion, yet they didn't even. So I thought it was just like common knowledge. Like, oh, yeah, like
everyone thinks that.
Everyone knows that we're just all like out here for soul's evolution, like evolving and all these things. And these women in Spain were like, huh? And I was like, oh, fully checks. But what a fun thing to internationally travel, because you get an idea of how small we really are.
Yeah, in our little bubble. Like, I think that just brought to mind, like, so everybody in my life is sober pretty much. I mean, just by design. It's just, I moved to Austin for sobriety. I'm involved in recovery. My life has expanded in that world. Not every friend, but most friends, right? And so I just think that everybody thinks the way that we think. It's not, it's like, I know they don't, and it's all I'm used to. And so when you step into different realms and you start talking about things that you think is common knowledge, it's like, huh? Oh, you don't know what, you know, looking at like different ways that self show up in your life, how fear drives you. They're like a deer in the headlights.
Yes.
And I'm reminded, oh my God, there really is so much of this world that is very asleep.
Yes.
Very asleep, you know?
Yes.
And that's okay. There's no judgment.
Yes.
But I forget because I'm so used to I'm just like immersed in this world where we have to do this work to live, you know?
We have to do this work to live.
Yeah.
Like a fulfilling life.
Well, that and to not use and drink again. You know what I mean? Like, I have to stay accountable to myself and my thoughts and be of service to people and all of those things, or I'm headed for trouble, you know?
Yes.
Like, I have the disease of alcoholism, you know?
Yeah, and that was kind of what we were talking about earlier. Is I hesitated, and that's why I was like, "Oh, do I say this? Do I not?" And so that's where the disconnect was coming from, just barely. But I am kind of feeling called to point out that I don't think that there's a one size fits all when it comes to any recovery program, and I've just been feeling as just a certain way, right? A certain way about the rules, about different things that are coming up where I'm like, that doesn't resonate as much as it used to. And I also hold space for the fact that, oh, wait, your malady is going to do whatever it needs to do to make you separate then, to make you this, to make you that. And so I'm operating in this, while I'm so deeply grateful for what got me to this point, I also recognize that my relationship around it is evolving. While also staying cognizant of the fact that we are zero going back there. Like, we will do whatever it takes.
Yeah, girl.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah.
And you know, when I was in treatment, I was surrounded by a lot of women who like had done this before, had done it multiple times. And that really helped me because I was like, okay, we're doing this once.
Yeah.
We hear once, whatever it is you need me to do, like I'm not going back there. And so that's just been interesting to see the evolution and do the parts work around it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and there's just, when I say recovery, there's these guiding principles, right?
Sure.
And how each person lives those principles out is entirely individualized.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I too have, been on this journey of like, okay, this old like black and white thinking doesn't resonate with me. How do I integrate what feels true to me and also still live within these principles that my soul has signed up to, to live out, and part of that is that, being of service keeps me out of myself, right? Which in turn keeps me out of the illusion of separation, right? Keeps me connected.
Isn't it fascinating that we are from the same source, just from different vantage points of this time?
Yeah.
Isn't that absolutely fascinating?
Yeah.
And, birth charts, you and I often talk about things like that. Why weren't we taught birth charts? And come to find out, in different cultures, they hold birth charts so close to the heart, similar to the Akashic records, that they don't speak about their moon signs and things like that. And you and I and our girls are like, yeah, I'm this, I'm that. Like, what?
Yeah.
And that's unique to our culture, actually.
Really?
Yes.
So how do they utilize their birth chart? Then they just don't?
Very personal, very family oriented. So it is very personal.
Very private.
Very private. That's
well, and I've heard people say that, like, I wouldn't give your all three major signs out. People can see into your soul. And I'm like, would somebody really fucking...
Well, it can be misinterpreted.
Sure.
Because we're all just interpreting things from our vantage points, from our specific perceptions, our specific unique experiences. And so people are going to do with that what they choose, which is why I often ask you about your Scorpio moon, because I'm so fascinated by your Scorpio moon and the higher, and I do think there's higher and lower frequencies,
of course,
because my experience with that specific sign, mom's a Scorpio moon and whatever, is like different. So I'm like, oh, I'm out here like asking questions.
Yeah, totally. Oh man, there's nothing lights me up. Well, I wouldn't say nothing, but astrology lights me up on a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Like
because you're a starseed.
Because I'm a starseed. I deeply want to understand people. Like that is, I feel like understanding or like studying humans is fascinating.
Psychology is absolutely fascinating. Absolutely fascinating.
And I'm just like, I don't know. It's such a cool...
It is such a cool tool that we have. And I do wonder, it's like financial literacy, though. None of us were taught really like financial literacy, right? None of us were taught really just all of these basic human things, like, oh, you have to close your eyes and move them left to right. Oh, you deep breaths work. Oh, this, that, and the other. No, we had to learn like Pythagorean theorem. And like, all of these just necessary tools that we use today. Like, I don't even think we were taught what an M- was. Like, I don't recall that was even in...
What is an M-?
An M- is, we see it now in a lot of AI, which is just the dash.
Oh, right.
And so instead of a comma, it's the M-. And we used commas and just... they were just different. It was just different, I guess. But what I feel is that the sentiments that would really help the human evolve are just secrets and withheld from you. And thankfully, we got to find what resonates with us and what lights us up.
Yes.
Because a lot of people will just kind of follow and stay asleep and, do what they feel called to out of fear. Sheeps. I'm feeling called to speak about that. Anyone can have a private practice. Anyone can have a business. It sounds so daunting. It sounds so big. And I think that that's why people don't do it. Anyone can get their LLC. Anyone can do this. But because it sounds like, what do you mean I have to handle my own taxes? Because now I'm out here completely private practice, paying for my own insurance, doing it all. And it's not that big. You know what I mean? Like at first it was like, when it was presented to me by a mentor, like, oh, you don't work for one of these treatment centers, just do it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, really? Like, no. He's like, no, no, no. Like, here's A, B, C, D, and E. Do this and then call me. Here's da, 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 do this, then call me. And it's so much easier. And I think that if the fear around stepping out of the W-2 corporate America world was more aligned with humans, then they could have more freedom to explore what resonates with them. They could have more freedom to do the entrepreneurial life while simultaneously doing W-2 or 1099. I mean, I'm just feeling that it's just not as big and anyone can do it.
Well, thank you for sharing that, because I feel like you're speaking to me also, you know, when you say that, because
everyone can do it.
I think there is a mass, like a mass of us that are feeling called to step out of the 9 to 5. Like, I just, my soul craves that kind of freedom, you know? And I think that I have a lot more to give to the world when I do step into that freedom, you know? So thank you for sharing that. And it also just highlights how imperative it is to have like mentors and coaches in your life that like can help, you know?
Yeah. Like you. Like, I love having creative women in my life. You know, having that Leo sign, you have your sun sign in Leo so that Leos can have that me, like energy. And like, I like to think of it like I'm in this pride.
Yes.
Like, we all out here, like I only operate around lions.
Yes.
Like, and I love hanging out with creative women who like do and go, and look at you now, calling in all of these fellow queens to sit beside you and walk beside you while you do this and help and raise the collective of others. No, it genuinely has been so fun. We met like 21 or something like that. Like, it was a hot minute ago.
Yeah.
But it's just been so cool to see your journey.
Same. I can say the same for you.
You know, we're just like out here, and it's just so wild to be human.
I know it is. Ugh.
And I love your brand of coming back to yourself. You know, I heard the trailer today or yesterday, and it spoke about coming home to yourself, right? And walking through the authenticity of like being human. And you speak about your soul correctiveness. Is that the words you use?
Soul corrections.
Corrections. Yes.
Yeah, because that is, and you mentioned it too, that's what we're doing. It's like, okay, what did I not fully work out in my last lifetime? What did I not fully surrender to or experience to elevate my soul in this last lifetime? And so my belief is that those soul corrections are carried on into the next lifetime. And then I choose all my relationships in my life that will bring up the opportunity to soul correct, you know, which for me has looked like shitty boundaries, people pleasing, inauthenticity, you know, all of the things of the two, pretty much.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, anyways, I don't know where I was going with that.
And you also introduced me to human design. You are a generator. And that's where you and I differ, is I am a manifesting generator. So I like, yet I also don't resonate with that sometimes. Like they speak about manifesting generators as not being able to slow down, and I can slow down.
Yeah. Well, I think again, with anything, there's healthy versions of each thing, right? There's the healthy 2, there's the healthy man gen, there's the healthy, you know, there's a side of each thing that is the more embodied version. You know? So like in its default probably can't slow down. Like when you think about an old version of yourself, were you that way? Like a lot of...
And I can show up that way. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but I think as we start to, with age, with spirituality, wisdom, we start to slow down. You know? Yeah.
And you know what's so cool about like the ages that are coming? We get to go on the journey together, because I think that the generations before us really felt isolated, right? They have these kids, they have the home, and they don't really, you know, it was just more difficult. They didn't have the internet, right? These days we have, like, everyone has the internet, which is so different, which is why the generations underneath us are growing up so different, because they have this sense of community to the detriment It's always a yes and always the pros and cons. Yet the positive is that we get to like see it from a lens of like humor, of authenticity, of just all these different adjectives that can go along with like growing up together. So like when in our 50s and 60s, our 70s, our 80s aren't going to look like generations before us.
Thank God.
I know. And like,
in respect.
And the full disclosure, I was looking at a lot of my girls, their daughters are like now at homecoming and they're so freaking beautiful. And I'm like, man, I did not look like that.
Like they ratchet, girl.
Well, they look so much more, they look older. And I didn't look like that. Like I don't know.
Oh my God.
I had the right makeup or whatever was going on.
Skincare.
I didn't have all of that.
We didn't have a 7-step skincare routine when we were 14.
No, we sure didn't.
I was using Clean and Clear and then slapping
some sea breeze astringent.
Wiping. Yes. I mean,
with some Smacker's lip balm or something. And
Oh, girl, I had the slick back ponytail, the blue mascara with the white eyeliner, and the pixie glitter.
Yeah, that was like, but it didn't have eyebrows.
Didn't have eyebrows.
Well, there's Steve Madden clunky black heels.
I was every version. Talk about chameleon. I was a hood rat. I was at one point. I was a goth person who had wore a spike, choker. With band
You're the
shirts.
Hot Topic girl.
Oh my God. Yeah.
That's
what
so
a fraud. Because I was not her at heart at all.
No.
You know what I mean? I was the
night that I would fall for you. And I was over. Yeah, you were the emo. Oh, yes. So funny.
Oh my God, I know. So
should we end with like a dance party or something? Like some sort of like
we definitely can, and we will. And yes. I also want you to tell first of all, what are some ways that you anchor yourself in moments of stress or overwhelm or sadness? Like, what are some tools that people can use?
And it's kind of like what we did at the beginning. So thank you for allowing me to soften back in. So I've softened back in, right? And the things that I'm going to speak about are just these tools that ancient civilization used and all of these things, and they deeply resonate with me, but you get grounded. So I like to put one hand over my sacral and one hand over my heart, and I get really, really grounded because I am safe and I am protected. And I breathe in. It's different the way that we breathe, because when you breathe in, you want your belly to expand out. So your belly gets bigger as you breathe in. And when you breathe out, it goes in. This helps the parasympathetic nervous system calm down. It helps your vagus nerve, because the funnest part is we're just dealing with this supercomputer. It's just been programmed, right? And when you're a baby, you're a bundle of joy and you're a bundle of neural pathways. And so nature versus nurture is a thing. And your parents did the best that they could with what they were handed. It's not mom and dad's fault, and no one's coming to save you. So,
yeah.
And as we often say, like, let me hold your hand when I say this, like, you are the problem, right? Like, it is your circus and it is your monkeys. If you are affected, it's always a you problem. Even if the other person did or said or blah, 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 if you are affected, it's you.
Yep.
And so when those moments happen, realize that your brain is telling you this story. And your brain, it's so wild to think of, what do you mean I can't trust my brain? Because our thoughts also, when you go in a spiritual awakening, can be very positive, can also have the opposite effect. So what do you mean? Like, I can't trust my mind.
Right.
And so I think that honing in on what's lower vibration and what feels good in your body and what doesn't. And so the first step for me is like getting clear on within. Right. And so that's why I like to sit and do a couple deep breaths, expanding my belly and contracting, expanding, contracting, to really ground into my belly. And then I envision the roots, they come out of my root chakra and they go into Mother Gaia and really stick into the ground. And Mother Gaia, from my understanding, enjoys sucking negativity from the human, whether it's from the soles of our feet, as long as we're outside, you can envision it's all about intention. Whatever you think is, if you think the sky is purple, you can figure it out, and you will find in people, places, and things and articles and this, that, and the other will come into your fruition that clarify what you believe. Right? Which is why you took that beautiful moment to kind of like say, wait a minute, are you manifesting these things? And I was like, oh, yeah. Let me get clear.
Yeah.
This is a story.
Uh-huh.
You know, this is a story that we like to tell ourselves, and my true essence is.
Right.
Right. And so my true essence is this grounding human who can allow this almost magical way of thinking, if you will, right? We will call it magic because I like the magic and mystic.
Yes.
But you ground, you let that negative energy feed into Mother Gaia, which is another fancy word for Earth, I suppose. Not really fancy word, but and then I allow the source to just pull in from above some light energy that's protection. Also, you know what I'm feeling called to share is the Reiki.
Yeah.
I'm going to show that Reiki exercise, and something that's in Reiki, 3 is a magic number. And so you cross from your left to right, and your girl gets into it.
Okay.
Because we are serious about we're touching our bodies from left shoulder, and we go down to the right hip. And I do it very like, she is
fast.
Yeah, just.
Okay.
Oops, sorry again, the mic thing. But it's boom, boom, boom.
So you're going across the left, across the right,
across the left,
across the left.
Nope, just 3 times.
Okay.
3 is the magic number, so it's. Then it's left to right arm, right to left to right. Then you take all those cords into your hand, and I like to like take my hand pretty close to myself because these are the energetic cords. For instance, I believe we are all connected through silver cords. So even when I'm sitting here with Danielle, I love heart to heart. And so like I envision this like silver cord from her heart to my heart just constantly going around. And then if it doesn't go back to me, I know that there is an energetic moment there or movement that needs to happen. And so I'll just like look at that and wait till it comes to me. I do that all the time with clients. Before I start a session, anything, help me be a vessel. I can't tell you how many times that goes through my mind, especially in session, like help me be a vessel. And I connect to their heart space so that I can help with what they specifically need, because it's all soul-centered. Another way people say is person-centered. I like to say soul-centered. So anyway, we're going to start over. We go, and then we take all those cords right here, and
I love that. And I love that. Oh, go ahead.
No, yeah, we ain't done. So we cut that shit, and then we transmute the cords. We like transmute and we like burn off the ends, right? And then we send it back with so much love and light. So much love and light. And that's the practice.
I love that. I will be adopting that.
Yes.
And I love that you just like reiterated why the podcast is called Cord of Connection, because we are all connected by this cord, but not only to each other, but to source.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's where Cord of Connection came from. So I love that.
Yes. And it's, our Cord of Connection, what activated me to think of something in that regard. But Cord of Connection, the silver lining, string theory.
Yes, girl. Yes, we're right here.
Isn't that fascinating?
It's so fascinating. Oh my gosh. So, okay, where can people find you?
They can find me, in Austin, Texas.
ATX, baby.
ATX. But I'm Embrace Mind Health is the name of the practice. And then at Stephanie Duple on Instagram. Facebook, my relationship has shifted. And then TikTok, I make funny videos because my inner child loves to play. And the way that I honor her is just like doing silly stuff. And so that's where they can find me. I'm also feeling called to put one little tool. Don't forget that you can just close your eyes and left, right.
Left, right.
And it just immediately calms down that amygdala. I immediately feel it. You just feel lighter.
I love that.
Yes.
Thank you so much. You are
so
such a
much.
magical light to this world, and just
magical.
keep doing what you're doing and helping people and raising the vibration. And I'm just honored to know you.
I'm honored to know you, and I love you.
I love you too. And I would do a dance party, but the music won't translate with the mic. So pretend we're doing a dance party, because I would love to do that. I got to figure out a way to be able to make that happen.
Also, her intro though, we're dancing to the intro. Like,
okay, so may the cord that connects us to one another and to source remind you that you are never alone, always guided, and always home.